during my speech, I will have the following pictures. These pictures represent answers that are simple yes or no for you to answer. And to start with my speech, I would like to ask you, could you go a day without technology? No, I didn't think so. Because we use technology every day in places like the military. We use it in school, and we use it in cars, we use it outside, we use it inside, we use it everywhere. But could we, or even should we, use it in the classroom, the place where we learn and we grow every single day? Now, when you look at a technology, you understand that an average child would use it about 7.5 hours daily, consuming media with laptops, smartphones, video games, anything. So, do you spend that much time on the internet? Yeah, that's so. But what can technology do for us other than what it's already doing? Well, you realize it can lift weights off shoulders, and it can create an interactive learning experience like no other that can even be better than teaching sometimes by real teachers. Now let's talk about that learning or carrying a weight off a shoulder. Now, if you look at this textbook, that is approximately a 10-pound textbook. Now think if you had the 5 classes every day in a textbook per class, that's about 50 pounds. But the average boy that weighs 112 pounds should only have about 20% of what he weighs on his back. So that's about 22 pounds. Compare 50 pounds to 22, and eventually you're going to look like this dude. And a lot of you already do. Hunched over, walking around with big backpacks. But if you were to take out your phone, you would realize that this phone is only around 3 grams. 3 grams, that all you have to do is click on an app, your Safari button, anything, and go to a provider such as McDougall online textbooks, or Holt McDougall, Pearson Online, or sometimes McGraw-Hill. They all contain online textbooks at your disposal on your lightweight, tiny phone. Now, what about that learning experience? Now, I'm sure some of you have seen this mouse. Sure, the commercials are on there. It's ABC mouse, and I bet you're wondering why it's on there, because it's really meant for younger kids, like 7-year-olds, 5-year-olds, pre-K students. But if you realize, this does bring the point up that you can create an interactive learning experience that does help using those 5 senses to learn. So every time you go to remember these things, everything they teach you, you use those 5 senses, everything. So you will truly remember. And if you look at the Algebra Nation, students at my school, Dr. Zhang Long, and I'm not sure if any other schools did this, used something called Algebra Nation. Basically, we got a textbook that we got to keep. We wrote in it, rewritten it, we did everything, but we'd also watch a video. And in this video, there'd be a little man on the screen, and he'd write on the same exact book. So as we watched the video, we would write it, so we experienced it. As we watched, we listened to it, and we saw it. We saw it all happen. So we used the 3 learning skills, audio, visually, and actually doing it. So we're getting 90% of everything into our brains. So every time we remember it, we're going to remember all of it. And so, now some of you might say, well, Ethan, what is my child doing on the internet? What is he doing on these phones? What is he doing on technology? Everything I don't want him to do, he can do. But look at that dinosaur. He may not seem very friendly at first, but on the Samsung phones, you will recognize him because he is the kids mode. And things in apps like this, like parental controls, can control what your children do and create a safeguard for anybody on your technology, on smartphones, on computers, so that way you don't have to worry about anything that's bad or criminal or maxing out your credit card so you go broke. Now, you could be thinking about all the good technology it does, but if you realize the people here, this generation kind of built it for us. They said you can have it. But the generation here, they said, no, you can't use it. But the generation here is the generation that builds up all of our superintendents, all of our people that create rules and control our education. But they may not understand what it's like for us to use technology because we were born in it. Because they grew the children here. The children here were the kids of this generation. So they taught us better, but they taught us differently. They taught us the next generation like. So together, we can create a way for the older generations that do control our school systems to allow us to live like how we should, like this generation allowed us to. Thank you.